practice.
What? Okay. I guess this is how we're doing it. Huh.
You literally said demon hours, so I was like,
Yeah,
right,
you're right. No,
I'll do
you're
it
right.
now.
Valid. Okay. I get it. We'll do it right now. I
Oh,
was
it's
there.
just saying.
I was there. This is literally gonna sound like so abusive.
I was going to say, we should move on to a different topic.
Okay, so
It's
pick the
been
topic.
5 minutes.
Pick the topic.
Topic. Youngin' advice. That's a good one. It's the only one I remember.
Yes, great segue. Anyway, I'm not a youth. Not anymore. I'm 19. I've got one foot
You're
in the grave
still
and the other
very-
on a banana peel.
We're both youth.
No,
Sadly.
I'm dying.
But
You just turned 19.
we're less youth than, we're less youth than most youth.
But
That's what we're
also,
trying to say.
we are so young in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, every human being
We weren't
is.
even alive for a blink of an eye in terms of the
We
universe.
never will be.
Anyway,
Our
so
human
like,
bodies never will be.
so like
but
high school, it's an interesting
high
set of
school's
years.
stupid.
It really is.
Don't.
Anyway, good advice. Drop out of school.
No, that's
Drop
not what
out
I
of
meant.
school, pump
Whoa, whoa,
every
whoa,
drug
whoa,
that you can. Drop out of school to push drugs to support your
no,
grandma.
No.
Anyway, what advice do we even have to give?
You said.
Don't start working at 14. If you can avoid it, don't start working at 14. If you
True.
absolutely have
Savor-
to, of course, do it.
Savor your childhood.
Savor the childhood, man. Redacted told me once that
Our high school AP literature teacher.
him listening like, why the I did not send any documents allowing them to disclose my name.
He lives at this address, and this is his social security number.
He's a Libra, which is a fucking
That's all
shame.
you need to know about him.
Anyway, so he told me once when we were discussing a book, because I texted him separately to talk about this book, and he
Interview
told
with
me,
the Vampire.
yeah, and he told me that youth is wasted on the young. Literally, just fuck around and be young. Don't worry too much about things, because guess what? I haven't thought about my SAT scores. I'm a senior in college. I'm not a senior in college. I'm a junior in college. I wrapped up my AA in 1 year. I'm 19. I'm a junior in college. I got a 1080 on my SATs, and I'm not paying a cent in school.
I don't remember what I got.
I got a 1080.
I would say, okay.
Nobody gives a shit about your academics,
bro.
bro.
But here, no.
I mean, schools do.
Stop.
Work your best, but
oh
also
my God.
it's not going to matter in the long
run.
run.
5 seconds? Can I speak for 5
Go.
seconds? This is my take on the whole high school thing. In the long scheme of things, high school does not matter. It literally doesn't. I have barely thought about high school. I mean, I've reminisced about high school. I think we all reminisce about high school.
Yeah, but also it
We're
was
like,
literally
nostalgia.
It was
my
a stone's
friends.
throw
blah, blah, blah.
away from where we are now. So of course we're gonna look
but,
back on
But
it.
it's also like, high school is important, but not for the reasons that people tell you it's important. High school is important because you're, moving into your adult, quote unquote, phase of life. You know what I mean? And high school doesn't teach you the important things you need to learn in life. Obviously, it doesn't teach you like how to do your taxes, which I still don't know how to do. Doesn't teach you blah blah blah.
Why the fuck don't they do
But
driver's ed in high schools anymore?
I think they do in some schools, but they don't here.
Why do?
But
don't go to an arts magnet school.
If you want to, go ahead. But yeah, no.
They
but
don't teach you how to drive.
Don't take him off.
I'm not. I'm just petting him.
But
he's a sweetheart.
But I think high school teaches you less the actual information you need to know, which I think it can do. But it teaches you responsibility. You know what I mean? And it teaches you how to, like when you were talking about SAT scores. Yeah, SAT scores don't really matter except for getting into college, maybe. Even then,
and half the
it's
time
iffy.
the schools don't even take them anymore because of a funny little thing that happened in 2020. I don't know if
they're gonna take them after 2020. You know that, right?
You know, but like even now, a lot less schools are taking them. It's like not mandatory.
But the thing is, I think with SAT scores and high school in general, it allows you to become responsible. and allows you to focus on a goal, which, you know, I'm not saying like nobody has done that, but I know especially for me, before high school, I had never really focused on a goal, obviously because I was literally a child. But I think high school is a clear way.
You're a child when you go into high school, and you're a little bit less of a child when you come out
of it, but you're still a child. Oh my God, so much of a child.
I mean, when you're 18, 19, 20, you're going to feel like you're a child, but also you're an adult, and you're going to feel like the oldest person on the planet, but also the youngest thing ever. You're going to feel like an embryo and like a fucking redwood tree.
Yeah.
Like, there is not going to be an in-between. And if you can find the in-between, let us know. Let me know how to find it, please. Oh my God. No, I agree that, like, I think that high school is important in the sense that that's when you really start to develop your own sense of self.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Because in middle school,
but
it's there, and it's pointing out in different directions, and then you go, and then you grow up, and you focus it.
But I think another thing we have to think about.
That's why people have so many phases in middle school and high school.
Ooh. I think the thing about, but that's important. Phases are important.
Phases are so necessary. Yeah,
but
exactly.
No, what I was going to say is like high school is still very capitalism central. It basically teaches you to do an office job.
Oh,
I mean, you sit there for hours, you do the thing, you have a lot of times, blah, blah, blah. That's what it does. However, I think that there's some people that I know that dropped out of high school, got their GEDs. That seems to work for them. I think some people can go without, high school, and they should just jump to college because college can be more free. It depends on your situation. However, I think high school is important because even though it's very capitalistic central, doesn't teach you, especially public schools, don't teach you the right information, don't teach you true information half the time in history class. It is very important to go to high school anyway, even though, we say fuck high school, it pissed me off. But it teaches you responsibility, and it teaches you social conventions, and I think the most important thing is like responsibility and hopefully learning how to time manage, and learning that, working towards something might not be the most enjoyable thing, but sometimes you have to do that to like pass this fucking exam for this teacher you hate, or to like do your SATs even though you don't want to do them, or whatever. I think it's important because it can teach people how to do what they need to do. No, but there are a lot of people that I know that are really irresponsible and don't, work as hard as they should for the things that they want.
I think high school is good for teaching you accountability, is what you're trying to land at.
Yeah.
Because,
That's a big word.
It comes in with responsibility. You can't have responsibility without accountability, because then you just have following orders.
Exactly.
And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to just follow orders. You want to make the
high school does
follow through.
But I think high school does kind of teach you to follow orders, but then I think college especially is about accountability, because in high school, teachers harp you, they follow you around, blah, blah, blah. College, unless you're going to a conservatory like me, because for me, they do take the time to like sit with you and be like, hey, you're failing my class. I've never had that happen, but I know people who've had that happen, and they're like, hey, you're failing my class. Why? Let's work this out. But in most colleges, professors don't do that, and so you have to become accountable for yourself.
And exactly, that's part of like the freeing thing on college, because like in high school, your teachers and instructors are breathing down your throat constantly. They're like, hey, get this into me. Hey, do this thing. Hey. It's like Navi. I think that's her name. The fairy from that one Zelda game where it's like, hey,
yeah,
hey, do this.
Everybody hated her.
Yeah, and then once you get into college, like I missed an exam. I missed a quiz the other week, and literally it was just like, I realized and I didn't do anything about it, and the grade went in. It knocked me down a letter grade, which is weird on account that it's a quiz. But it's not anybody harping on me. I made it up. I did the extra credit to make it up.
Exactly, yeah.
Nobody was telling me to do that. I did it because I am a perfectionist. I have a 3.7 GPA. That's where I get my validation from. But this is not therapy.
Exactly.
Bro.
That happened to me last semester when I was doing my environmental science class. I missed a whole bunch of shit. I missed 2 important tests. I was at a D, and I did a whole bunch of extra credit to get myself back up because I didn't want to retake that class, because the college doesn't care.
They really
Colleges don't care. If you fail a class, it's better for them because then, especially if it's a gen ed, you have to pay again to take it. Now, I'm lucky that I don't pay at all. However, for people who do pay, when they fail a class, colleges don't like it because it brings down their reputation, but they do like it because, especially if it's one of those required classes, you have to pay to take it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's I saw this tweet a while ago that was like, we shouldn't have any more like general ed classes, required stuff in college. High school is the time to explore. College is the time to settle down and look into stuff. And I just sat there and I was like, that's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Do you know how many people go into college with that intention where it's like, I'm going to learn what I want to do in college?
And then
that's what I'm doing. What just in a more specific direction.
Yeah, but first of all, it's like general eds, I think, are way more important than people give credit to. I mean, I think there are some general ed courses you don't need, like the fucking math for liberal arts. Are you kidding me?
That was so fucking easy.
I don't even remember anything that happened in that class. I couldn't tell you shit that I learned. I did like
coding in that class. It was like base 10, base 1.
I never fucking did that.
Base 6, and then it was like kanji at some point. I was like, yo, why is kanji in this shit?
We took way different classes. Because all the shit that you talked about, I never had. But anyway, like stuff like that, I think can be fucking thrown out the window. But stuff that is important, I think the civics class that I'm taking right now, even though I'm cheating now. But when I wasn't cheating because I had a proctor exam, that part I still learned, I still found stuff out and I would still be like, wow, I didn't know this, or wow, this is important, because I feel like especially now it's important for young people to learn about the government. And taking my environmental science class, I will recommend that class.
Oh my god, big brain, dude.
I will literally recommend that class to every single person because it talks about politics and the environment, social issues, whatever, and how that all connects together. Mm-hmm. And I think that is
a good fucking class.
Fucking class. I think it is so important. And it's a general education class. And I think and philosophy, I think, is actually a really important gen ed class, even though it's kind of annoying.
Everybody is like, philosophy is like the class to take when you're like your first year in college you want to be like smart at. But like genuinely,
it's good.
It's good, and also
I think it helps people. I mean,
unless you have neolibs in your class, in which case then it's a little weird.
No, but here's the thing. Even then,
meet gay people in the class.
Okay, well, it's that.
Maybe that's my experience.
But it's also, I think, like, even if it's like there's neoliberal people in the class, which, but it at least allows them to sit there and have the opportunity to question their own beliefs, because so many people are told stuff from when they're young and then just go with it for the rest of their lives. Mm-hmm. And philosophy really teaches you to... I've been taught to question shit, well, almost everything, for,
your entire life.
My entire life. I was raised on Eastern philosophy.
You're so lucky. I was raised on apathy.
My mom is Buddhist. I was raised on Eastern philosophy. We were taught, whatever. The point is just like... It's like a lot of people, I think, don't know how to question their reality or question their own beliefs, which I think is a really important thing to do, especially like people like us who are going into their own spiritual paths. Having philosophy as a backbone, where it's like, well, wait a minute, let's look at the philosophy of this. Let's actually think about it. And anything
my way through that course.
What?
I kind of cheated my way through that course, but
I thought it was really interesting. I cheated on some things, of course.
It did help. But... like I was saying the other night, that one TED Talk that we watched was like free will versus,
philosophy helps you rethink stuff.
Yeah, it's a good class. Everybody should take it. To quote the Narcissist Cookbook's song, no. Trust me.
My ass is a dump truck. My legs are also dump trucks.
No. To quote his latest release, Courtney, the director's cut. He says that at one point there's a question that all smart people ask themselves every day, multiple times a day, that he only asks himself like every 2 years, and it is, what if I'm wrong? Right? And everybody needs to be needs to be asking that question.
I think especially
every now and again, I mean,
don't do it every day. Don't,
because that's first of all, that's a lot of time must have on your hands.
That's called anxiety.
If you can ask yourself that question every day, you need a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but it's really important, because for the longest time, I was one of those really annoying atheists where it was like, God's dead, nothing is real, do whatever the fuck you want. And while some people, while that is a respectable worldview for some people, I was very much the kind who would like push it to an annoying amount. Would be like, ew, you're Christian Catholic, don't you know how stupid you sound?
Yeah.
So that was a very harmful way of viewing it. And then, I asked, what if I'm wrong? And then I became pretty spiritual. I believe I'm agnostic.
There is
but
an
I'm also
atheist to witchcraft pipeline.
Atheist
it's real. Save yourselves.
I'm, God.
Okay, good talk.
What's the term?
Omnist?
No. I'm an omnist. Agnostic, but
some philosophy term?
The Jewish thing.
Jewish mystic?
I identify as an agnostic Jewish mystic, which is a lot of words. But
I'm an omnis eclectic witch. I mean, come on now.
But it's only because I found, and like people go to spirituality when they're in times of crisis, and I found naturally I would like go towards that, but not like towards like a capital G God. It would be like forces in the universe, and then I was like, oh shit. Maybe it's not just us floating around on a little speck in the middle of the universe. Because how could it be? But also people who are very much like straight atheists and
straight
and people who are straight. You can't put that out there. People are gonna cancel us for being heterophobic, which isn't even a real thing.
I'm not mad about it.
God, oppressed people want to be oppressed. No.
Oppressors want to be oppressed so bad.
But basically what I'm trying to say is that you need to question your beliefs, and
every
college
day
is a good way to do that because...
And gen eds are more important than you think.
Mm-hmm. And, when you're in high school, when you're in college, you do have a sense of self. You are trying to learn more about yourself. That's like the whole thing, like, go to college, learn about yourself.
But it's true.
But you can learn about yourself in any facet of life.
And you can learn about yourself in a million different ways. You don't have to go to high school
or college to become your most evolved self.
As long as you're, that's basically what I'm saying. Like, as long as you're actively working on, contributing to society in a positive way, debatably by what that means, but, contributing to society in a positive way.
Not harming yourself or others.
Yeah.
At least intentionally.
And, trying to stay informed and whatever, like, I think that, and, like, finding yourself is, like, a really important thing that is so cliche. It's so cliche.
But it really
is
true, because even the people, so in our high school, I hear a lot of times when people left our department.
I liked high school.
We both had pretty good high school experiences, but there were people, close friends of ours, and like other people that we graduated with.
Other people that we graduated with.
No. I mean, like, just general, like, our class, who did not have the same experience as we did, because, their intentions are in other places, and ours were in a certain place, right? But I keep hearing, like, people who were in our same theater department, who were like, this was fucking awful for me, right? But even in the bad experiences, you weed out the things that you don't like, and that only brings you closer to the things that you do like. Yeah. Ideally, hopefully, if, you're intentional about it. But, like, oh, God. Again, more philosophy shit. I believe that every experience you have, you can take something away from. Mm-hmm. Big or small, good or bad. There's always something to pick up from. I don't believe that everything happens for a purpose, but I believe that you can pick something up with everything.
Just going off what you just talked about, which was like, I don't believe everything happens for a reason or whatever. I've always heard that phrase thrown around because, again, Eastern philosophy. My mom believes everything happens for a reason because she believes in karma and she believes in energies that all happen, and not necessarily like it's a planned out reason. My mom very much believes that everything happens for a reason, quote unquote, but it's very vague about what she means by reason. It's very much like, it's not a planned reason. It's just stuff just happens to people because, not that it was meant to happen, but because energies at the time made it happen. Anyway, point is,
He's got dirty money
you
on
know,
him.
my mom would say that all the time, especially when we were talking
He's
about
in the mafia.
when we were talking about like anything about like countries or whatever. She was just talking about like, oh well, you know, stuff happens for a reason. There's a reason that this country is like that, or there's a reason this happened to this person, blah blah blah. And I grappled.
Maybe not a good one.
That's exactly what I said. I grappled with that for a while because she would say that. And, you know, I think a lot of people automatically turn to, like, oh, there's a positive reason this happened. That's not necessarily true. I think there is a reason for everything, but it's not always a good reason.
If a reason, do you mean something that led to the event? Then, yeah, there is a
exactly.
reason.
That's what I think.
But it's not.
That's what I think is a better
purpose.
example, is a better description of saying everything happened for a reason. I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, this happened specifically. It's a good thing this happened because you're learning from it. I think it's more so like, this happened because of something, and it might not have been good, and you just have to deal with it now, and whether you learn something from it or not is up to you.
God, it can only be with
go
us.
Crazy, go stupid.
It can only be with us that we start talking about, like, advice for the youngins, high school, and we get into big-ass fucking... Yeah, I don't know if everything happens for a reason, you know? Just on account of, like, bad shit happens to good people all the time. Do they deserve it? Yes or no? Just because it's a bad thing. You know? Like, that can only happen to us. I mean, obviously... Yeah, I mean, I think it can only happen to us. We're the main characters.
We're the center of the universe. There's nobody having this exact conversation right now with 8 billion people on the planet.
These are 100% original concepts and ideas, and nobody else has had the segue between
Socrates?
something superficial and then something existential in that span of time. Fuck Socrates. Me and Mommy's hate him.
True.
Didn't he want eugenics?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he was also like, yeah, women can do everything men can do.
But
not
less.
as good,
But to be fair, that also brought in the idea where it was like, oh, if we go to war, the men go first. And that I was like, you're right, Socrates.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I was listening to this Riot Girl song earlier. I forgot what it was called, but there was like a part where it's like, we believe in equality, therefore we hate all men. And I was like, you know what? And then it goes to specify... Like, literally one of the lyrics goes, just to be clear, we're talking about cis men. And I was like, there we go. I love that inclusion. Damn.
That's right, though, because there are plenty
They're absolutely very right.
You
know, there's plenty of trans men.
Gender non-conforming men.
Gender non-conforming men as well. You know, we're not talking about you guys.
But the cis men, get the fuck out.
Cis men can fucking leave, bro.
It's true. They're
all
leave. Odd.
They're all very quirky, and they all have a Libra placement in their charts for some fucking reason. My God, what? Why? I think my sibling, my brother, might not have a.
There must be a reason that I have so many.
Dude,
Libra
they're
men
everywhere.
showing up in my life.
Right, they're everywhere. Where? What? What's the purpose?
I hate them.
Like they're so.
Libra moon people, Libra moon men, I've noticed better than Libra rising and just Libra sun.
Yeah, but then again, dude, it's so funny. Every time I open up the app, I forget what it's called, like where you can look at the current chart.
Time passages?
Time passages. Every time I open it up and I
love
look at the
that
current
app.
chart, I look at the chart and I'm like, nobody have any kids right now. No matter what the chart is, I'm just like, everything. Yeah, I need to start.
Until it's your exact chart, and then you're like,
everybody
kids.
have kids. No, are you fucking kidding me? More bitches with a Sagittarius sun, Aries rising, and a Pisces moon? No thanks. I take up way too much fucking space, bitch. Are you joking? Any more of them? I cannot handle it. I've met like
I've
one
never
Aries.
met anyone with I've obviously met people with my same placements, but I've never met someone with all of my exact placements. I don't know what would happen.
Oh my God.
I feel like
fight to the death.
Exactly.
It would be really interesting because you are a very particular person. So it would. I think.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
It means you're particular.
What the fuck does particular
You wear
mean?
Witch hats casually.
You wore one today.
Yeah, it was your witch hat. I borrowed it from you. You want to wear leaf shoes to go to a run fair, which does work. But you also told me today that you want to get more witch hats to wear casually.
No, you said that.
No, I said that I wanted to get the one that you were getting, because first of all, you started this trend. Had you not gotten a witch hat, I wouldn't have jumped on the bandwagon. You bought the elf ears first. You bought elf ears and wore them casually, and then when we were out eating, somebody came up to you and was like, yes, I like the ears. I'm also a Star Trek fan. You went, thanks, and they immediately turned to me.
I did the Star Trek thing, and then I turned and said, I've never seen Star Trek.
So, like, you have a Scorpio rising. You are a particular person.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
I remember one person that we talked to that we don't talk to anymore.
Oh, God.
Oops. Well, whatever. She said, to me, like we were talking about our first impressions of each other or something, right? I don't remember my first impression of you.
I don't remember my first impression of you either. I probably thought you were fine. I was like, oh, she's fine.
She said to me, like, I thought you were going to be way too much to handle when I first met you.
Makes sense.
And it turns out I wasn't the problem at all.
Yeah.
So, well, not in that relationship.
You know what is fucking annoying? It's so hard. Okay. I will not say that I am emotionally mature. I will say I am definitely not. However, it's so hard being...
I try to be, but...
on the... Neither of us are. We're 19.
Facts. Valid. We're only going to get more mature.
We feel like we have to be right now. Not true. However, it's so difficult being on the more mature side, though, when going into relationships.
God. Listen, we're not mature.
We're not mature at all.
We're not mature at all.
We believe in communication.
Is so low.
Exactly. Clear communication. Like communication on, like, maybe a regular basis would be nice.
The bar is 6 feet under.
Literally.
And it's everybody manages to dig even deeper.
For real. It's like, one time when I was younger...
In all relationships, not just romantic, of course. No. In every relationship, people... Yeah. We've had the unfortunate... the disfortune...
I have so little friends.
Encounter.
Yeah. But, like, I remember something my mom told me. This was... it was either freshman year or before I started high school. My mom was like, I don't think you're going to have, like, a real, serious relationship until you're, like, 30 or something. And I was like, what? Why? And she was like, because you're just so, more, like, I don't know. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she said something like, you're more mature, you're more serious than other people. And, maybe that wasn't a good thing to say to me when I was that young, because then maybe I felt like I had to be more mature. However, after going through high school and having literally 0 romantic relationships, I'll fucking believe it. I'll wait another fucking 10-ish years, I guess, if I have to wait that long for people to catch up to me. God damn, I'm not even that far ahead. I'm like five paces ahead.
5 paces ahead, and these bitches are still tying their shoes, bro.
They're at the running thing, like, still kneeling down, getting ready to go. And the guy with the gun is like, I shot it already. It's like...
We're like, guys, we're looking back.
To be fair, we also live in Florida.
Listen. Bitches up in the fucking,
Bitches on the West Coast?
Bitches on the West Coast. Upper East
West
Coast.
West Coast, California.
I keep getting that fucking confused. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
East Coast, Upper East Coast.
East Coast.
Oh my
bitches
God.
In Maine and Boston and New York.
Oh my God. Oh. Why do you think I want to move to New York? I've had it with people in Miami. I've had it. Like, I get it. This is a party town. This is a fiesta town. If you're a gay millennial man, if you're a gay queer millennial man,
you're fine. You're
solid.
Gay queer white men,
or if you're, Hispanic.
Or Hispanic, yeah. Come here.
You're fucking solid. You're good to go. Or if you're a real estate agent, I guess.
Not even. Like, this place is gonna be underwater soon.
Oh, goodness gracious. No, but it's like,
yeah, me too.
Everybody up there is just they hate kind of different, and maybe it's just because we're in this little bubble. Miami, every time I meet more people, Miami just keeps getting smaller. If tying this back to the high school thing, because that was like 30 leaps ago, but don't if you're not ready for it, and if there's nobody ready with you, don't have a relationship in high school. Don't force it. I've had not a lot. In like
more than me.
Yeah, I've had like maybe 4 in high school.
It's one for every year.
Right, but on account that I started dating when I was 17. I started dating when I was 17 and then took a year off to not date anybody. I've only been dating for... Well, I'm turning 20 now, this year. So it'll be 3 years since I've started dating. It'll technically be 2, right?
Had a 2-year relationship in middle school. That's it.
And it was... Okay, and like, don't just settle. Don't settle. That's what I did. And don't go after people because you're bored. I know it's tempting. I've been there.
If you want to have a hot girl or hot boy or hot person in summer, go for it. However,
absolutely, have it. But if you're going to do it
as long as you're safe.
Be safe. Be safe emotionally, well, mentally, and physically. Of course, physically is, very important.
But make sure, fully make sure that your emotional and mental health are safe in those situations. Don't date people if you don't want to. Don't do anything you don't want to physically. Just don't. Body autonomy.
Don't force yourself to have a relationship because everybody else has one.
Don't feel peer pressured. Don't feel peer
and of course, it's fine to yearn. It's fine to, want to have a crush. It's fine to, listen to your Mitski. Or listen to, your Claro.
Your Hosier.
Or your Hosier. It's fine to do all of that and, yearn for a person. But don't force, because, listen, if you're forcing yourself to do it, that's already a bad sign. That's a red flag on your part, buddy. And if you know it, and if it, none... You shouldn't... Okay, I was watching...
This goes back to philosophy. Always question yourself.
One of my favorite YouTubers, Anna Akana, she does a lot of, self-help, therapy type, and, she dissects, concepts.
She dissects
and,
people?
No, she doesn't dissect people.
Hannibal Lecter be like...
But she dissects these concepts in ways that, are super handy-dandy to talk about and really, easy to talk about, right?
Yeah.
And... One of the things that she made really recently that just stuck with me, I think she made it a month ago, that stuck with me, was that when you're looking for romantic relationships, look for a relationship that inspires you rather than causes you to be anxious. Right?
Yes, that's very important.
And the way that she phrased it, it was when you're inspired in a relationship, you are secure and you of course you want to learn more about this person, you want to learn more about yourself, and want to learn about what the opportunities are with this person. But when you're anxious and you worry constantly,
yes, if you
worry every step of the way,
if you find yourself second guessing a lot of stuff, or being or over worrying about if they're gonna text back or if they're gonna do this, that's not good.
That's not
healthy. Either the relationship is bad or you need help.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I will say it.
And also,
both.
It can be both, but also you can do everything right and still not have it work out, and you can't hold that against yourself. That is something that I had to learn very recently, which is unfortunate. But it's not unfortunate because again, I carry it with me, and you learn it. You can do everything right, and still that's what the year has been. You can do everything right, and it still won't work out because that's life. That's life, and then you just gotta pick it up, try again,
move on.
Don't lose hope. Move on.
Keep living life.
But yeah,
living la vida loca, baby.
You act in your most authentic self, and you act with your best intentions in mind, and people, you will meet other people that are attracted to that. In friendships and in relationships, of course,
and people being and I will say people being attracted to you feels great. However,
don't lose yourself in it, girl.
Don't lose yourself.
Don't
let it fool you, because people can be attracted to you and whatever, and then you might want to hold on to that, but don't try and hold on to it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If someone reaches out first and then you feel it slipping away, let it slip, man. Don't try and hold on to that.
And of course, there are gonna be people who bait you, right? They or they're bored, or the other person that they're talking to isn't hitting them up, or they talk to you, they engage with you maybe 1 a.m. on a Saturday night. They're hey,
even
just been thinking about you.
Even in friendships, don't do this.
Don't do it. Like,
abusive
and then
friendships are a real thing, and they need to be talked about more.
oh, absolutely. Oh my god.
Ugh.
Ooh, that's a
We got
different
some
topic.
stories about
That's
that.
a different topic for another day. But like, again, another influencer that I follow was talking about this. But it's like, you know, when you bait somebody, it's like, hey, just to let you know I'm here and I'm attracted to you, and then you leave. Like, you give them enough to hold on to,
Yeah.
and then you leave to go do other things, and you're not really letting them go, and you're not really committing to anything, and it's like this weird state of limbo, and that's manipulative.
If you gotta let
That's
someone go,
manipulation.
you gotta let them go.
Mm-hmm. Do what you have to. Block people, soft block them, hard block them. Tell them to take them off of your close friends list.
Yes.
Which is
that is
such
so
a good feeling.
Such a good feeling.
Oh my
such
God.
a power move.
Such a power move. Telling them directly to block you on everything.
And telling you, well,
if you can do it,
yeah,
I
or
recommend
even
it.
just saying, oh, take me off of your close friends list, or oh, like, even just having them unfollow, like, making them unfollow your accounts, and then blocking them or whatever. Anything like that can feel so amazing, because if it's someone that pisses you off, and you keep seeing them show up on your social media page, don't think you have to keep them there to, like, save face.
Yeah, no, I learned that.
And you can also support people on social media, but like from a distance. Like if it's somebody you don't necessarily want to continue a friendship or relationship or any type of relationship with, but you still want to see them succeed, just follow them on their main, and don't follow them anywhere else.
You
don't be on their close friends.
And the mute button is a beautiful thing.
Mute button is a beautiful thing, yeah.
Because then you can just like, you could keep following them. You mute the post or you mute the stories, and that's it. Boom, boom.
And then whenever you like are like, oh, I'm gonna like see how they're doing just randomly, you can check and then go away and then forget about it again.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly. That is a beautiful thing.
Now, I don't think you should be checking on people all the time.
No.
Because that's also, and also don't check in on people. If you ended a relationship with somebody and you're thinking about them and you decide to send them like, hey, hope you're doing all right. No. Don't do that.
That's fucking weird.
That's weird.
I've hated
and it's
that.
Manipulative.
Anytime anyone has done that to me, I have absolutely hated it. It has like weirded me out.
You know,
I've
because
never
they
done
don't owe you a response. They don't owe you any of their time. If you have made it clear,
you don't owe any of your time either. It goes both ways.
If you made it clear that the relationship is over and yet you make attempts to, you know, interact.
Mm-hmm.
That's giving
even
people
if you
mixed signals.
Even and especially if you haven't made it clear. If you've been in a situationship with someone, but you've been the one that's kind of been backing away from it, don't keep going back. If you need to be honest with them and tell them, hey, we need to talk, here's what's going on, blah blah blah, do that. Mm-hmm. If it's something that, you know, is important, not
unsolicited advice is so fun to give.
But it really is. But point is, just moral of the story, be a decent person.
Moral of the story,
it's harder than you think.
Moral of the story,
and we're still working at it.
Oh, absolutely, Jesus Christ. Because also, like,
sometimes you do it and you don't even realize you're doing something shitty.
Yeah,
that's the really important thing.
The amount of times that I wanted to reach back out to people and check in on them.
Oh my God.
The amount of times that I wanted to do that, if I had a penny for every time I wanted to do that, dude, Jeff Bezos would be my bitch.
To be fair, I've only wanted to do that with people who abused me. I've never done that with anybody that I wanted to do it with you know, I've been toxic to other people before. People have been toxic to me, and that's just a part of recognizing it and doing better, right? Mm-hmm. You know, but like I've wanted to reach out again to people, and then, you know, when I started being conscious about it, I sat about it, and I was like, it's not fair to them, and it's not fair to me either, because what? Because it
you
doesn't
message
make you
them,
happy either.
You reach out, they respond, and it's like that, you know, it's the short-term happiness, and then you're overthinking it for like another 2-3 weeks.
People think people who are toxic or manipulative are happy when they're doing it. No, they're not. They are not happy. That's why they're doing it. Because they're unhappy. But they don't know how to not be unhappy. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, you think they like manipulating people. They probably, most of the time, they don't necessarily realize they're doing it. It might be on an unconscious level that they realize. But on, like, the average person, if they're being manipulative, doesn't really realize it. You know what I mean? And if they do realize it and they're doing it anyway, then they're still unhappy because they have to manipulate people to get what they want instead of just talking to people. You know what I mean? Exactly. And having normal, healthy relationships.
And just because I want to bring this up before we change the topic abruptly, you need to learn when to, understand that your relationship with somebody has ended. And that's not to say that it can't start again in a different way
or in the same way if it's better.
You're right.
However,
but you have to understand, and like some of my childhood best friends, I still think about them, and I still want to be like, hey, of course, I still think about them, but I'm not going to act upon it, just on account that they're living their own lives. I think of them fondly, and I'm nostalgic over the past and everything like that, but I'm not gonna hunt them down, take them out of their own lives because craving that emotion, that closeness, that friendship again.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think something that relates to that is, even if, like, let's say it's like the situation before, where it's like you reach out to someone that you used to have a relationship with. I think the biggest thing to expect from that is to expect that the other person you're talking to, first of all, you have to understand if they don't want one with you, because it matters on both sides. Like, you are not the center of the universe. If other people...
It's great to want somebody and to feel wanted, but it's that exchange that makes it work. You can't give endlessly, and you can't take endlessly.
Exactly. And it's also, I was going to say, like, and even if, whatever, you can't expect the person that you're reaching out to be exactly the same way that they were at the time that you knew them. Like, you cannot expect them to, especially you can't expect them to act the same way. You can't expect them to want anything to do with you, frankly. Like, you just can't expect, you have to go into it. If you are going to reach out to someone and you've decided, I'm going to reach out to this person, try not to have any expectations, because anything could happen.
People will change for better
People will change for better or for worse.
If they don't change,
that's concerning, and you should leave. Because if it's been a long time after you've talked to this person, they should have changed. But, yeah, it's just like, make sure that they're comfortable with you, like, talking to you, and if you feel like they're not comfortable, make it short. If they're being too nice, but you're getting the vibes that they don't want to talk to you, end it. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely, man. What we're trying to say, I guess, is people are nuanced.
People are nuanced.
Not
your everything place. Is black and white.
Know your place, bro. Know your place within other people. You need to know when to not intrude on other people's businesses as much as you may want to.
Yes.
For better or for worse, just, if people wanted to contact you, they would. And if,
good talk.
Just people? Yeah.
Yeah.
Be nice. Be respectful. Do you want to start wrapping up? What do you want to say before, because you said you wanted to say something before we forget.
I did?
Okay, did you forget? I think you forgot. Maybe we should make it a bit more organized for next time.
Definitely, because we talked the majority of it about
because we went velociraptors, high school, spirituality. To be fair, high school romance, trauma, being a good person.
I did start it very randomly and was just like, all right, practice.
You're right. But, like, some structure would be nice, I think.
Yes, we should allot time for stuff.
Yeah, and maybe, like, cute little different segments. I want to do, like,
And if it goes a little over, I'm gonna turn this off.
I want to... Wait.